Here we are in another tutorial, one of my favorites, especially when it comes to purple eyeshadows. This is the undertones that I love. So without any further ado, let me show you how I created this look. First step is to outline my eyes, my eyebrows, and my base is already here on my eyes. And for that, I'm gonna be using Inglots Duraline and P. paint from Acid Rain collection in shade Ecstasy. These paints are really strong, not usually something that I would use underneath. But I really do want to emphasize my pigment and make the outline. The reason for that is because they are really waterproof, which is great because they will stay in place. I like to use these ones for my cut creases. I am also outlining this part right here. And also I've sheared this paint with the Duraline just to be a little bit more easier to work with. If you watched my last video, I used Huda's cream eyeshadow and it is good for what I needed. But this one is a little bit strong, but again, I like the undertone of the paint that I have. I'm covering just the out portion of my eye and just making kind of a little triangle here. After the outline is done, I will be using Makeup by Mary Ethereal Eyeshadow Palette and I will be using this color right here. This one goes underneath my brow bone. I'm always trying to saturate the color as much as I can so that when next color comes, especially color like we are going to apply now, it needs to have a good base, otherwise it will look patchy and not easy to blend. For my next shade palette, I haven't used that much actually, at least when it comes to eyeshadows, is this heavy color right here from Hindash Monochromance palette. Going slowly right into my crease, and this shade is exactly what I need for this. Just in case you didn't know or didn't realize or maybe haven't used colors like this, these colors usually leave marks underneath the base. So when you clean your makeup, don't be afraid to see like a spot that is just from these type of eyeshadows with this undertone. It looks like this one is a bit pigmented than this one. I went a little bit heavy-handed. So now I'm going to lift this part right here really close to my eyebrow. I love doing this because it really opens up my eye. But whenever you're using this technique, make sure to use light color, not too dark, but light color as possible. Once it's blended, I'm repeating the process starting from the same point, and I will bring that to the outer portion of my eye as well. Also taking another brush just to make softer edges. This one is a bit bigger blending brush, but again, good for what I need at this point. Now we're gonna do this interesting transition with a little bit more cooler tone. So another palette that I don't use that much is this new color block from Huda Beauty. You know what? I just realized this is another Huda's palette that has certain benefits that I like, but then don't like in the same palette. I liked her Obsessions palette more. So here certain shades that, as you can see, I don't even use. But yeah, it's good. Love this shade and it's good for what I need today again. So I will connect this shade into previous one and this will look beautiful as it transition. It is a light shade, so look at this transition. I love this. If you're having green eyes, this will look amazing on you. Not that it wouldn't look good on brown eyes, but it's just that even if you look at a color wheel, when you see opposite colors, then some of the shades I'm using today are opposite to green. So that's why it pops out even more. That's the reason. So the more green eyes you have, the more this look will pop on your face. And also applying this color. Remember when we put this outline, so this one is good to just diffuse even more this edge. Later we will add a deeper shade, but look, even if you leave this like that as it is with the base, it's looking decent. So That's not what I'm gonna do today, but just in case you're wondering, you can put base like this and then just blend it with a little bit of eyeshadow, and actually you're good to go when it comes to this outer part. I don't care, I'm taking blending brush. I don't care if I go a little bit lower because this will be covered later, so it doesn't really matter. So I am just working with this middle part right here. And once you feel that the product has been left from your brush, you can even pull this color up even more. But not in the early stage of blending, because you will lose everything that you already have on your eyes. That is such a crucial thing when it comes to blending your eyeshadows. I'm gonna go again. And remember how we went high in this part right here, so that's what I'm going to repeat right now as well with this shade. When it blends with the previous one, this is what you get. I think it was a little bit too light, but at the same time I didn't want to go with too dark of a color in the first place. Now taking shade Dot from the same shade that I've used before, but this is darker one. I am applying that shade first on the outer corner. The undertone is pretty much the same, and I love the effect that it creates. So I am slowly starting to build my inner and outer corner with the same shade. Also, we're gonna close inner corner right here. Again, when we talk about this Kindish palette, the thing about these eyeshadows, the formula is build that you have to build the eyeshadows quite a lot. It's not that pigmented, at least not at first. Like, you do need to build it up multiple times to achieve certain depth. I will also close this part right here as well, but make sure that you leave the eyeshadow that you already have, but make sure you don't go too much on top of the previous eyeshadow that you already have. I'm gonna go a little bit out because we still need to have that transition. So I'm trying to do the transition with each shade that I'm using. Next shade is going to be from this beautiful palette from Be Perfect in collaboration with Alina. I don't know how to pronounce this shade, I'm sorry, I really don't. But it's this cool purple shade. And starting with the outer corner, again, same undertone as our outline, so we'll try to connect everything. Again, making sure to not lose previous shade. Since this color is a bit pigmented and darker, if needed, take much lighter or cleaner brush and just work the edges. So what I do miss in this look is a little bit of shine and highlight, and for that first I'm gonna be using this Tammy Tanuka Beautiful Pigment. Again, all of them are in Russian, so that's the reason why I don't know the name. I'll put it in the description so you can check which one it is. This is from their chromatic series, definitely one of them. So what this one will do for me is just to emphasize a little bit this part towards the center of my eyelid. And now what I'm gonna do is to take this NYX Foil Play. This is Limit Love palette pigments. Their pigments are stunning, whether we're talking about those in a little bottles, foil play, or palettes like this. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Beautiful texture, a little bit hard to work with. They are super hard pressed, but I don't care because I can make it work. So I'm just using my finger. I realize it's the easiest way to apply it, especially if you're doing makeup on yourself. Of course, if you're doing clients, then I would always suggest to use your brushes over your fingers. Taking flat brush to spread this, and so to make a transition, I'm just using both of these pigments and just slowly tap the edges. That's literally what I've done, like nothing too crazy to connect, and that's about it. Now for my highlight, I'm using Cookie Highlighter from Benefit, and then I mixed these two toppers from Makeup by Mario. Not the last one because it has too much gold, and for this one I definitely want cool tone finish. And also I'm going to apply the same texture underneath my eyebrow. It does look like a wet highlight. I don't know if camera can catch this. In person it looks amazing. We'll do the same in my inner corner as well. But first I want to finish my lower lash line, and for that I'm going to be using Be Perfect shade from Rain palette. And after that, so I will repeat a lot of colors, so I'm going in with this color right here. Well, basically this is what I do every time I do my lower lash line, unless I'm doing something colorful, specific, something different. What I do need at this point is a little bit of base, because I just put the base on my other portion of my eye. Unless this paint cannot have eyeshadows without the base. Now using shade petal, because I do want to put as much as color as I already used to lighten up everything. For my highlight, I'm repeating the same products. When it comes to rest of the eye look, I will pop up some lashes and will put, of course, my eyeliner from the beginning to the end of this look. I think that will be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. And before you leave, make sure to watch this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!